What's going on? I hope everyone's doing good. How's everyone feeling? I hope that life is treating you well, right? That life is treating you well, that you're enjoying life, right? That's the whole point. I want you to enjoy life. My name is Old Man Labor, also known as Celso Garcia. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. Hit the like, hit the share, follow, subscribe button in whatever platform you're on, right? Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, um, right? Every channel you're on, hit the share, hit the follow, right? Hit the share, follow, um, anything you need to get to where we need to get to, right? The problem is that now we have so much chaos, we have so much stress because of the economic system that has been put in place by the powers to be, right? There's a whole section of our democracy, a whole section that only wants to listen to the riches of the rich in our society. They don't want um, anyone to be able to voice their opinions. They don't want anyone to be able to say things however they want to say them, right? The only people that are allowed to say what they want to say are the people in power, right? The people in power are allowed to all types of freedoms, are allowed to speak all types of nonsense, and no one's allowed to say anything about what they say or what the comments that they make, right? Right? That's the problem. The the system should be allowed to speak all types of nonsense, treat everyone with respect and love. It's allowed to stand with what they say with the comments that they make, right? That's the problem. So that's why they talk about woke one, woke two. But I'm saying that as a BIPOC person, as a person of color, I don't look at the world the same way as everyone else, right? Um, I don't see it the same way as everyone else. So that's the issue that I have with the system, that the voices of regular people are not heard, right? The voices of regular people are not being heard. And that's troubling in my book, right? That's definitely troubling in my book to not listen to the regular people and to the opinion of regular people, not just pay people lip service, right? Because that's what a lot of politicians do. They pay you lip service. They say that they're listening to you, but they're not listening to you, right? They're not listening to you. They just are telling you one thing and actually doing something else. And that's a huge issue, right? That's a huge issue in our democracy, where it's supposed to be a representative democracy where our representatives represent us. And now it has gotten to the point where they stop listening to us They have started listening to corporations and to the super wealthy and the super rich instead of listening to us, right? Instead of listening to us. And so the biggest issue that I think that we have to contend with is the issue of being ignored, the issue of politicians that just pay lip service and just act like they are friends and act like they care about the issues, but in the end of the day, only care about their own well being, only care about their own pocket, only care about their own lives, and don't really care about the community, right? If they couldn't care less what happens to the community. They play the game that they care about everyone, that they care what happens uh, the community, and then in the end of the day, are just paying lip service to the issues, right? They talk tough, act tough, and then make deals behind closed doors, right? They make deals behind closed doors and end up just doing whatever they want with us. This has been going on for years, for a very long time. Even the MAGA people have realized that Trump was a demagogue, that he was just somebody that promised so much, but has delivered so little for the regular worker, the laborer, the union worker, the person that wants change so bad that they're willing to trust a billionaire that doesn't really care about what happens to them, right? He was able to convince people that by being a, 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 a billionaire, that he would actually care about people and care about people's lives. But he hasn't shown that love and that respect for the people, right? He has pretty much ignored his followers. He has ignored his community. That's the type of person he is. And so if you want to act like he's not ignoring you, we could act that way. But it's not necessarily true that that's what he's doing, right? It's not necessarily true that that's what he's doing, right? Let's let's watch some videos, right?
You got it. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Right?
During Biden-Harris, thank you, President Trump, and God bless you for everything you keep going. See, Sid Rosenberg's here. What are you doing? You're supposed to be on radio. Listen, we are so honored to have President Trump join with us here today in these magnificent facilities that we have here in Nassau County to honor.
So Long Island, right? Um, he's running for governor. Bruce Blakeman. Bruce Blakeman. But the problem with Blakeman uh, is that he has not cared about anyone. He has not cared about anyone other than um, people that he cares about, right? If you don't know, Nassau County is one of the places where he invited, in particular, where he invited immigration to use their jail, to use their uh, facilities. They had an agreement, and Governor Hochul made the agreements illegal, and he still invited Donald Trump to Long Island to support him. He's endorsed by Donald Trump, Bruce Blakeman. Um, he's leaning heavy on his friendship with Donald Trump, right? As Nassau County executive, he really is pushing hard to try to beat the governor. I'm not a fan of the governor, right? Not a fan, but Blakeman is definitely a step backwards, right? A step backwards because he's a big Trump loyalist. And if we want New York to be dominated by Trump loyalists, we should just keep going with what we're doing, right? I mean, she's not the best governor we've ever had. There's a lot of reservations I have about her. There's definitely a lot of reservations I have about her. But at least I can say that she is better than Bruce Blakeman, right? Bruce Blakeman is doing AI ads across the board. Um, See, I don't like that, right? I don't like that. I don't like her doing um, several, how can I say, I don't like her doing several different people. Like, to me, it's ridiculous, right? To me, it's ridiculous that he invited President Trump, knowing full well that in New York, we know that in New York, no one likes Trump. There's a percentage of people like upstate in Long Island that are crazy with Trump. But the majority of other New Yorkers don't mess with Trump, right? The majority of New Yorkers don't mess with Trump. So you could try to convince us and try to say that we should support um Bruce Blakeman, but I just don't like um the aggressiveness and the way Trump is running the country, right? I just don't like the way he's running the country. Some of you might like it, some of you might enjoy it, but in my book, um, I think that Trump is doing a horrible job with the economy. He's doing a horrible job um, with the war in Iran. He's doing a horrible job in Palestine. And, he said he was going to be the president of peace. And we still haven't had no peace. All we've had is escalations of wars and destructions of uh, many people's lives, right? Including people in America, right? People with America. Uh, that's the problem, right? That's the problem that I have, right? It shouldn't work that way, right? It shouldn't work that way. But I appreciate every single one of you. Um, that we continue to enjoy every day that we have um, in America, right? Every chance we have to be productive members of society, right? That's the thing. We gotta enjoy the days that we have because nothing's guaranteed in life. That's a realization we have to have, right? That's something that we have to realize that nothing's guaranteed. Yeah. So that's what I want to say, that nothing's guaranteed. We're not guaranteed to be received by everyone. We're not guaranteed to be loved by everyone. Because nothing in life is guaranteed, right? Nothing. Um, we're here today, tomorrow we might not be here, right? Tomorrow we might not be here.
The men and women of our law enforcement
So, but I appreciate all of you. I'll be back out tomorrow. I'm playing around with these different software, right? I'm trying out different software um, to go live on. Trying to find the right software for me that works for me, right? So I'm trying out
professionals and
different softwares,
firefighters, and
right?
especially we want to thank President Trump. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart because I meet mom and dads everywhere I go throughout the state. Thank you, Mr. President, for sealing our borders. There are less and less
I cannot agree with xenophobic comments and ideas. It's not something that I could agree with, right? Uh, anyone that hates people that are different, in my book, I can't agree with you. I think that this country was founded on immigrants and was founded on diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's what this country is founded on. You can read it in the Constitution. Even if you don't believe me, look it up. It's embarrassing for us. It's embarrassing for our history. It's embarrassing for the founding fathers that we behave the way we behave. And um, I find it sad that this is where a lot of countries are heading, right? They're heading towards right wing, xenophobic, white supremacist ideologies where they don't want anyone that is not from their country not to be in their country, right? Pushing the poor out in order to keep the rich in power, right? That's disheartening, and we've seen it in a lot of countries, right? We even saw it in Colombia where um, the president of Colombia said that the new president of Colombia said he's not taking help from anyone. Uh, he's only taking help from the United States, Israel, Guatemala, and certain countries, and those are the only ones that are allowed to sell, uh, bring rescuers in. Everyone else is only allowed to send aid or send money, but they're not gonna allow rescuers in from any other country, which is very, how can I say, xenophobic. But we'll talk tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Okay? Did it freeze? Uh, Good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? We'll talk when I got my head on straight. All right? Have a good night.